In the final moments before someone vanishes, what do they see? What do they know? And why do their last messages sound less like goodbyes, and more like warnings? Welcome back to the Whisper Files. I'm your host, and today we're opening one of our most disturbing cases yet. These aren't simply missing persons cases. These are people who, in their final moments of contact with the world, sent texts, made calls, or left recordings that suggest they knew something terrible was about to happen. Messages that were ignored, dismissed, or discovered too late. Some of these people were never found. Others, what was found was worse than nothing at all. Before we begin, I need to warn you. These messages are real. These people were real, and what happened to them remains, to this day, unexplained. Turn off your lights, check your doors, and remember, when someone sends you a message that doesn't make sense, maybe you should listen. Number 5. Samantha Clark, June 14, 2019. Samantha was an experienced hiker, 27 years old, athletic, cautious. She'd been hiking the Appalachian Trail for 3 years and knew these mountains better than most rangers. On June 14, 2019, she set out for a solo 3-day hike through a familiar section of trail in Virginia. She carried a satellite phone, standard practice for solo hikers in remote areas. She checked in with her sister Maya every evening at 6 p.m. without fail. Day 1, normal check-in. Weather good, made camp at designated spot, feeling great. Day 2, check-in came at 6:02 p.m., Maya said. Sam's voice sounded off. Distracted, she kept asking if Maya could hear something in the background of the call. Maya heard nothing but wind. Sam said, "There's someone following me. I think I keep seeing movements, but when I turn around there's nothing there, just Maya, do you hear that humming?" Maya assured her it was probably just another hiker and suggested she camped near other people that night. Sam agreed and ended the call. At 11:47 p.m. that night, Maya's phone buzzed. A text from Sam's satellite phone. It read, "They're not hikers, they don't walk right. Please don't come looking for me. If I'm not back by morning, don't look for me. Tell Mom and Dad I'm sorry. They only take the ones who see them." Maya immediately called back. No answer. She called park rangers. They mounted a search party at first light. They found Sam's campsite. Tent still standing, sleeping bag laid out, backpack untouched. Her satellite phone was on the ground, screen cracked, but Samantha was gone. Here's what made investigators stop breathing. Sam's phone contained photos, dozens of them, taken throughout the day after her last check-in. The metadata confirmed they were taken by Sam's phone. The first few photos showed the trail from Sam's perspective, normal hiking shots, but then the angles changed. The photos were taken from high up at least 12 feet off the ground, looking down at the trail, looking down at Sam in the final photo. Taken at 11:46 p.m. 1 minute before that text was sent to, can see Sam in her tent. The photo is taken from directly above the tent, looking straight down. And in the corner of the image, barely visible in the darkness, are what look like hands, long thin hands with too many fingers, gripping the phone. Samantha Clark was never found. No trace, no evidence, nothing. But here's what keeps Maya awake at night. 3 months after Sam disappeared, Maya received another text from that satellite phone. The phone that was in police evidence. The phone that was turned off and locked in an evidence room. The message said, "I'm sorry I looked up." Number 4. Derek Chen, August 3, 2021. Derek was an urban explorer with a modest following on YouTube, about 50,000 subscribers. He specialized in abandoned buildings, always went in during daylight, always told someone where he'd be. On August 3, 2021, he announced he'd be exploring an abandoned psychiatric hospital outside of Philadelphia. The building had been closed since 1994 and was scheduled for demolition the following week. Derek went live on YouTube at 2:17 p.m. The stream started normally, jokes with his chat, showing the exterior of the building, explaining its history. 300 people were watching live. At 2:45 p.m., Derek entered the building. The stream quality was good, his phone's battery at 87%. He explored the ground floor, showing his viewers the decaying reception area, old wheelchairs, scattered papers. At 3:12 p.m., Derek found the stairs to the basement. His chat begged him not to go down. He laughed and said basements were always the best part. The basement was dark. Derek turned on his phone's flashlight and a separate LED light he carried. The stream showed long corridors, doors hanging off hinges, old medical equipment. At 3:31 p.m., Derek stopped walking. His viewers heard it too. Breathing, heavy breathing, coming from one of the rooms ahead. Probably just whined through the pipes. Derek said, but his voice wasn't confident anymore. He approached the room. The breathing got louder. The chat exploded with warnings, telling him to leave. Derek reached the doorway and pointed his light inside. The room was empty, but the breathing continued. It was coming from directly beside him. Derek spun around, and his phone camera caught it for just a fraction of a second before the feed cut out. The image has been analyzed frame by hundreds of people. It shows a face, right next to Derek's, close enough to kiss him, but it's not a human face. The proportions are wrong, eyes too far apart, mouth too wide, skin the color of old parchment, and it's smiling. The stream ended abruptly at 3:32 p.m. Derek's phone went offline. His friends called the police. Officers entered the building at 4:15 p.m. They found Derek's LED light in that basement corridor, still on. They found his backpack. They found his wallet and keys. They never found Derek, but his phone, they found that too, not in the basement. They found it on the 4th floor, in a room that Derek's stream never showed him entering. A room that, according to the building's records, was a sensory deprivation chamber. The phone was placed carefully in the center of the room. When police turned it on, they found a video file, recorded at 3:45 p.m. 13 minutes after the stream cut out. The video is 15 seconds long. It shows darkness at first. Then a light turns on, revealing Derek's face. He's crying. His mouth is moving, but there's no sound. Behind him, in the darkness, there are others, dozens of them, standing perfectly still, watching him. The video ends with Derek looking directly into the camera and shaking his head slowly, as if to say no. The video was uploaded to Derek's YouTube channel automatically at midnight that same day, scheduled from his phone. The title of the video was simply, "Don't Explore Alone." The video was immediately taken down by YouTube for violating community guidelines, but not before 15,000 people downloaded it. Those who watched the video with audio enhancers heard something else beneath the silence, a whisper repeating over and over, "He's ours now, he's ours now, he's ours now." Derek Chen remains missing. The building was demolished on schedule. During demolition, workers reported finding a room that wasn't in the blueprints, a sensory deprivation chamber on the 4th floor. Inside the room, carved into the wall and what appeared to be fresh scratches, were the words, "Thank you for visiting." Number 3. Jennifer Morales. October 12, 2020. Jennifer was a night shift nurse at a large hospital in Chicago, 42 years old, mother of 2, reliable and experienced. She'd worked night shifts for 15 years and had seen everything, or so she thought. October 12, 2020, was supposed to be her last night shift before a week of vacation. She was covering the ICU intensive care unit in the 8th floor for patients that night, all in critical but stable condition. At 2:47 a.m., Jennifer sent a text to her husband, Marcus. They often texted during her breaks. The message was normal. "Quiet night, can't wait to be home. Love you." At 3:15 a.m., another text, "Something weird. Patient in 8C keeps talking about a visitor, but visiting hours ended at 9 and nobody signed in, probably just the morphine." At 3:34 a.m., Marcus, "All 4 patients are saying the same thing now. They all say there's someone in the hallway, a tall man in old-fashioned clothes, walking room to room, just standing there, watching them." At 3:41 a.m., "I checked the hallway. Nobody there. But the patients are terrified. They all describe the exact same person. How is that possible?" At 3:52 a.m., "Marcus, I need you to listen to me. I'm in the med room. Door locked. Something is wrong. The hospital records show there are 5 patients on this floor, but I only have 4. There's no room 8E. I've worked here for 15 years and there's no room 8E. But the computer says there is. There's a patient there. Says I'm supposed to check on them." At 3:58 a.m., the patient in the computer, the one in room 8E, the name is Jennifer Morales, admitted October 12, 2020. Time of admission, 3:47 a.m. "That's my name, Marcus. That's tonight. But I'm not a patient, I'm the nurse. I'm the nurse." At 4:03 a.m., "I can hear walking in the hallway. Slow footsteps. They stop outside the medroom door. Marcus, if something happens to me at 4:05 a.m., he's knocking. Oh God, Marcus, he's knocking, and it sounds like he's knocking from inside the room with me." That was the last message Jennifer sent. Marcus called the hospital immediately. Security found the medroom locked from the inside. They had to break down the door. The room was empty. Jennifer was gone, but her phone was there, lying on the floor, and on the computer screen in the room, still logged in under Jennifer's credentials, was a patient file. Room 8E patient, Jennifer Morales. Status, deceased. Time of death, 4:06 a.m. Security checked the hallway. There is no room 8E. There's room 8D. Then the hallway turns. There's no space for another room. But when they checked the hospital's original blueprints from 1952, there was a room 8E. It was a quarantine room. It had been sealed off in 1967 after a patient died there under mysterious circumstances. The room was deemed structurally unsound and was literally walled off, erased from the floor plan. The police investigation found no trace of Jennifer. No blood, no signs of struggle, nothing. But here's what made the investigators go silent. They checked the security cameras. The footage from 3:47 a.m. to 4:06 a.m. is corrupted, static and interference. But you can see shapes moving through the static, and audio analysis picked up something else on the corrupted footage. Footsteps. Slow, methodical footsteps. And a voice, distorted but clear enough to transcribe. Room 8E patient transfer. Jennifer Morales. The hospital sealed Jennifer's personnel file. They installed new cameras. They even had the wall between 8D and where 8E used to be x-rayed. The x-ray showed something that shouldn't be there. There's a room behind that wall. And the x-ray picked up what appears to be a figure standing inside it. Jennifer Morales was never found. But patients on the 8th floor still report seeing a nurse, a woman who walks the hallway at night, checking rooms that don't exist, caring for patients who aren't there. And on the anniversary of her disappearance, the hospital's computer system adds a patient to the 8th floor. Room 8E, Jennifer Morales admitted. Never discharged. Number 2, Thomas Caldwell, March 27, 2018. Thomas was a commercial deep-sea diver, working on underwater oil rig maintenance. 51 years old, veteran of 30 years of deep-sea diving. He'd been to depths that would crush most people's lungs instantly. March 27, 2018. Thomas was part of a crew doing maintenance on an oil rig's underwater structure, 400 feet below the surface of the Gulf of Mexico. Standard procedure. 2 divers go down. Surface crew monitors everything. Thomas's diving partner that day was his friend of 20 years, Robert Hayes. They descended at 9:15 a.m. The dive was going normally. Radio communication was clear. They were checking the rig's support structure, taking photos, making notes, routine work they'd done hundreds of times. At 10:42 a.m., the surface crew heard Thomas's breathing rate increase. His voice came over the radio. "Rob, do you see that, Robert? See what? Thomas down there below us. Something just moved." They were 400 feet down. Below them was another 600 feet of water before the ocean floor. In that depth, with that visibility, you don't see things move. It's too dark. Robert checked his depth gauge and lights. Nothing on his end. He told Thomas it was probably just a current moving sediment. At 10:47 a.m., Thomas's voice again. "No, Rob, there's something down there. Something big. It's Jesus, Rob. It's ascending. It's coming up towards us." The surface crew could hear the panic in Thomas's voice. They ordered both divers to begin emergency ascent procedures. Robert confirmed he was ascending. He radioed Thomas. "Tom, start your ascent." Now Thomas's voice came back. "I can see it now, Rob. Oh God, I can see it. It's not possible. Nothing that big should be able to move like that. Rob, it's looking at me." Robert was ascending, following protocol. He radioed Thomas again. "Tom, ascend now. Don't look at it. Just ascend." "Thomas, it has Rob. It has eyes, so many eyes, and they're all focused on me. It's trying to tell me something. I can hear it, not in my ears, in my head. It wants to show me something." Surface crew. "Thomas, emergency ascent. Acknowledge. Thomas, it's beautiful. Rob, you have to see this. It's showing me ... Oh no. That's where we came from. We're not supposed to be here. We were never supposed to leave there. It's been waiting all this time, waiting for us to come back to the water. Robert, Tom, your depth, you're descending. Hit your Thomas, I'm not descending. Rob, I'm being invited. It wants to show me where we belong. I can see them down there, others. So many others. They're all down there, Rob. Everyone who ever went missing in the ocean. They're not dead. They're just ... home." Surface crew, pull them up. Activate emergency ascent. They tried. Thomas's safety line went taut. The winch activated. But the cable snapped. Not frayed, not slowly torn. It snapped cleanly as if cut. Thomas's last transmission came at 10:53 a.m. "Tell my family I'm sorry. Tell them I finally understand. We came from the water, and the water remembers. It's been calling us back all along. Don't come looking for me. If you come down here, you'll hear it too, and you won't want to leave." His dive computer showed him descending 450 feet, 500 feet, 600 feet, 800 feet. At 1,000 feet, his computer stopped transmitting. At that depth, Without a safety line, without proper gear, the pressure would have killed Thomas instantly. Robert reached the surface. He was hysterical. He kept saying Thomas wasn't pulled down. He said Thomas unclipped his safety line himself and swam down. Swam towards something that Robert couldn't see but could feel watching them. The Navy sent down a remote-operated vehicle to search. At 1,200 feet they found Thomas's helmet. Just the helmet, empty, pristine. No damage, no blood. Next to the helmet they found something else. Thomas's underwater camera. Still recording. The footage from that camera has been classified. The official report says the footage shows nothing but darkness and sediment. But one of the technicians who viewed the footage before it was classified spoke anonymously to a marine biology forum. He said the footage shows Thomas descending into darkness. His light picks up movement below him, something massive, moving with impossible grace for its size. And then Thomas's light illuminates something. The technician described it as a structure, artificial, impossibly old, made of materials that shouldn't exist at that depth. And around the structure, figures, human-shaped but wrong, moving in the water like they were born to it. The footage ends with Thomas reaching the structure. His hand touches it, and his voice calm now, peaceful. "I'm home." Thomas Caldwell was never recovered, but in the months following his disappearance, 3 more divers working in the same area reported seeing something at depth. Something large, moving through the darkness. All 3 requested immediate transfers. One of them quit deep-sea diving entirely. And on the anniversary of Thomas's disappearance, his wife received a message. Not a text or call. A letter in the mail. No return address. The letter was soaking wet, covered in salt water. Inside, written in Thomas's handwriting, "The water is calling. Don't resist. Come home." Number 1. Dr. Emily Westbrook, November 8, 2022. This is the most recent case on our list, and the most disturbing because her final message wasn't just sent to one person, it was sent to everyone. Dr. Emily Westbrook was a speleologist, a cave scientist, 34 years old, PhD in geology, expert in unmapped cave systems. She specialized in finding and documenting caves that had never been explored. In October 2022, she received reports of a cave system in rural Kentucky. Local stories mentioned it had been there forever, but nobody went inside. Bad feeling about it, the locals said. Wrong kind of quiet in there. Emily was intrigued. She organized a solo preliminary exploration for November 8. She carried standard gear, GPS tracker, satellite communicator, cameras, and an emergency beacon. She started a live blog feed for her research team at 11 a.m. as she entered the cave. The first few entries were typical. Cave dimensions, rock composition, air quality readings. At 12:30 p.m., interesting. Cave extends much deeper than surface survey suggested. Going deeper. Air is stale but breathable. Temperature dropping. At 1:15 p.m. found markings on the wall. Not natural formation. Too deliberate, look like warnings. Will photograph. At 2 p.m. cave opens into massive chamber. Ceiling height approximately 200 feet. Multiple tunnel branches. This is significant. This cave system could be massive. At 2:45 p.m. strange acoustics in here. Sound doesn't echo properly, almost like it's being absorbed. Also found more markings. They're counting down. 10, 9, 8. We'll follow the pattern. At 3:20 p.m. reached marking for 1. Tunnel ends in a wall, but the wall is wrong. Too smooth, too perfect. Running tests. At 3:47 p.m. this isn't a natural wall. It's sealed. Deliberately sealed from this side, using ground-penetrating radar. There's a chamber behind this wall. Large one. At 4:15 p.m. team. I found a gap, bottom corner of the sealed wall. Wide enough to squeeze through. I can see light on the other side. Not my light. Different kind of light. Requesting permission to investigate. Her team denied permission. Ordered her to mark the location and return to surface. Standard protocol for a solo exploration. At 4:33 p.m. understood, beginning ascent, but team. The light on the other side, it's moving. Like it knows I'm here. At 4:41 p.m. something's wrong. GPS not working, compass spinning. Every tunnel looks the same. I'm lost. At 4:58 p.m. I can hear something coming from deeper in the cave. Not water, not animals. It sounds like humming, like the walls are humming. It's getting louder. At 5:12 p.m. found my way back to the sealed wall. The gap I squeezed through. It's bigger now, much bigger. Like something opened it from the other side. That light is still there. It's brighter now. The humming is coming from through there. At 5:24 p.m. I'm going through. I know you told me not to, but I think this is why the cave was here. I think it's been waiting. The markings weren't warnings. They were directions, a countdown to this chamber, to what's been sealed inside. At 5:31 p.m., I'm through the gap. Team, you need to see this. This chamber is enormous. And it's not natural. Nothing about this is natural. The walls are smooth, perfectly smooth. And the light, it's coming from the center of the chamber, from something in the center. At 5:39 p.m., oh my God, it's a door. There's a door here, underground, miles underground. A door that's been sealed since before. Before what? Who built this? Why is it here? At 5:47 p.m., the door is opening. I didn't touch it. It's opening by itself. There's something beyond it, something that wants me to see. The humming is so loud now I can barely think, but I need to know. After everything, I need to know what's through that door. At 5:55 p.m., Emily's satellite communicator sent one final message, but this message wasn't typed. It was voice to text, an audio message automatically transcribed. The transcription reads, "They're not gone. They never left. They've been here the whole time. Under us, under everything, waiting. The caves aren't natural. They're passages, ways to reach us, and they're waking up. Tell everyone. The doors are opening all over the world. They're coming." The message cut off. Emily's emergency beacon activated at 5:56 p.m. Rescue teams were deployed immediately. They reached the cave within 3 hours. They found the entrance. They found the markings counting down. They found the massive chamber. They found the sealed wall. They did not find a gap. The wall was completely sealed. No opening. Ground-penetrating radar showed no chamber behind it. No door, nothing. They did not find Dr. Emily Westbrook, but here's what keeps her research team awake at night. At 5:56 p.m. on November 8, 2022, the exact moment Emily's message cut off, seismic sensors across Kentucky registered a tremor. Not an earthquake, something else. Multiple points, all at once, all underground, like dozens of doors opening simultaneously. And caves across Kentucky, caves that had been explored and mapped for decades, began changing. Tunnels appeared where there had been solid rock. Chambers opened up in places that had been dead ends. Explorers reported finding markings, counting down, in caves where no markings had existed before. Dr. Emily Westbrook remains missing. The cave she entered has been sealed by authorities. The official explanation is structural instability. But the research team knows the truth, because 1 week after Emily disappeared, they all received the same email from Emily's account, the account that had been deactivated. The email contained no text, just an attachment, an audio file, 30 seconds long. The first 15 seconds are that humming, the sound Emily described, the sound the walls made. The last 15 seconds are a voice, Emily's voice, speaking calmly. "I found what we've been looking for. The answer to where we came from, where we're going. They've been here since the beginning, and they're ready for us to join them. Don't be afraid when the doors open. Don't be afraid. We've been invited home." That audio file was sent to every spelunking organization in the world. Thousands of cave explorers heard it. Many of them reported feeling compelled to explore deeper than ever before, to find sealed chambers, to find doors. In the years since Emily's disappearance, 17 cave explorers have gone missing worldwide, all in previously mapped caves, all in areas where new chambers suddenly appeared. And in each cave where someone vanished, the same markings are found, counting down, always counting down to a sealed wall, always leading to a door. The question isn't where Emily Westbrook went. The question is, what did she let out when she opened that door? 5 people. 5 final messages. 5 disappearances that remain unsolved. Samantha Clark, who looked up; Derek Chen, who explored alone; Jennifer Morales, who found the room that doesn't exist; Thomas Caldwell, who heard the ocean's call; Dr. Emily Westbrook, who opened the door. Their messages weren't goodbyes. They were warnings. And we didn't listen. If someone you know sends you a message that doesn't make sense, that sounds impossible, that frightens you, don't ignore it. Don't dismiss it. Because in their final moments, they try to tell us something. They try to warn us about what's out there, about what's waiting, about what's been here all along. Subscribe for more cases. Check on the people you love. And if you ever receive a message that ends mid-sentence, maybe don't go looking for the rest of it. Stay safe out there, or don't go out there at all.